allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty.
Hey, Kate, could we have roll call, please?
Bruce Robinson?
Yes.
Jim Davis?
Yes.
Don Williams?
Here.
Doug Bryson?
Here.
Sean Kidd is excused, and Eric Fearborn.
Here. Okay, Richard, are there any agenda changes or revisions?
No, there aren't.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, you've been have copies of the minutes for June 4th, 2013. Are there any changes or revisions or additions? If not, could we have a request for a motion to approve the meeting minutes? Excuse me.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, next is public comments on non-agenda items or matters not involving a public hearing. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak on anything that is not involving a public hearing? Okay. Next, final orders and resolutions. The Commission is about to vote on a final order for an appeal of an administrative decision denying a vacation rental dwelling application. The matter is identified as file APP 2013-02. The appellant is Maz Gamgala. The final order is a written record of the Commission's decision that followed its public hearing held on June 4th, 2013. The Planning Commission's decision is to deny the appeal. The final order reports the findings of the Commission, explaining how the decision relates to the evaluation criteria. It includes the vote of each member and briefly states the basis for a minority vote. The vote on a final order is not meant to be a second vote on the subject of the hearing. If the final order accurately reflects the findings of the majority and the decision, Commissioners should approve the final order. Is there a motion to adopt Final Order 2013-04 for the decision of file APP 2013-02?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt the Final Order 2013-04, APP 2013-02.
Have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, Kate, can we have roll call, please?
Williams?
Aye.
Bryson?
Aye.
Davis?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Fearborn. Motion carries.
A notice of decision will be mailed to the appellant and all others who participated in this hearing, in person or in writing. Pursuant to Lincoln City Municipal Code, Section 17.80.050, C3, the Planning Commission's decision on this matter is final and may not be appealed to the City Council. Next, we're moving on to 5.2. It's a recommendation. Final recommendation, CPA 2013-01 and ZOA, Zoning Ordinance Amendment 2013-01. Legislative amendments to Title 17 Zoning and the Lincoln City Comprehensive Code. If enacted, the amendments will amend the comprehensive plan and zoning map to include vacation rental dwelling yes and no zones, and amend the comprehensive plan text to include a new development category, the vacation rental overlay zone. Amendments will also address lawfully established pre-existing vacation rental dwellings in areas adopted as no zones. Okay, has everyone had a chance to read the final recommendation? Mr. Williams, where are we at with Mr. Williams? Does he participate in this?
No, he can't participate, but
Okay.
I was waiting for my cue.
Okay, we're not going to, I believe we're opening a public hearing or anything, so.
public hearing's closed.
Yeah, public hearing is closed, so I guess at this point, we're not asking for any abstentions, are we? I don't have a script.
Well, Commissioner Williams can't vote on this, but, or participate in the discussion, if there is discussion.
Okay.
Right, so I just recuse myself.
Okay. I just want to know where we're at with that, so, okay, thank you. Oh, yeah, we're good. Thank you. Okay, anybody have any questions or comments or additions or deletions or anything on the final recommendation? Okay. Well,
Actually, I need to bring up something on this. I mistakenly had two written comments sent to each of you after the hearing closed. I should not have done that. And you should not consider them in any of your decision-making. And in fact, your decision tonight should reflect the information you had 2 weeks ago at the last meeting. And I'm going to ask you to explicitly say that you've disregarded those two sets of comments that I inadvertently had, or actually purposely, but wrongfully, I guess, inappropriately had sent on to you. And that was one comment from John Oxenholt and one comment from Mr. and Mrs. Walker. And you should, as I say, disregard them. And again, I ask you to explicitly say that you're disregarding them in making your decision. And those comments will be considered by, and any other comments we receive will be considered by the City Council when they make the ultimate decision in this matter.
okay. Well, do we need to do that individually now or at the time when we're
That
voting?
would be good to do it. Go ahead and do it now.
Okay, well, I've read them, but I will not use them in any consideration in any vote this evening. Anybody else?
I didn't read them.
I kind of read paragraphs, but after I can't remember what I read anyway, so I'm not considering I know it.
Mr.
I briefly skimmed them and then got the email and discarded them.
Discarded them. Okay, so those won't be a factor in any decision this evening then. Thank you. Okay, well, as we've talked about before, that doesn't sound like there's a lot of discussion on this. It sounds like it's probably pretty much what we talked about. In my perusing it and going over it, I didn't see anything that stuck out as something that was missed or we didn't talk about. And as we mentioned last time, the City Council will ultimately make all decisions on anything that we're recommending for them to take a look at. So if there aren't any changes or additions, could we have a motion to send the final recommendation forward to City Council? Anybody?
I'll make the motion that we accept the final recommendation, CPA 2013-01 and zoning ordinance 2013-01.
And forward it to City Council?
Forward to the City Council.
Okay. Could we have a second, please?
Second.
Kate, could we have roll call, please?
Okay. Bryson?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Pureborn?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so this will be held at, the City Council have this on their agenda or schedule yet?
Next Monday, the 24th.
Monday, the
when hearing
24th.
opens.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to item 6, there are no public hearings scheduled this evening. There is no old business scheduled this evening. Any new business? None scheduled. Reports and comments from the Community Development Director.
I don't have anything but my faithful companion.
But they're not that time-consuming, so. All right, the first thing I want to mention to you is that last Friday I submitted a grant proposal to the Transportation and Growth Management Program, which is a joint effort of ODOT and the Department of Land Conservation and Development. The grant request was for $150,000 to hire consultants to help us do a neighborhood plan for the area adjoining the gap in Nelscott, which is the highway project that has been in the making for a number of years now and is scheduled for construction in 2014. The proposal suggests that we anticipate that these improvements, adding the turn lane, center turn lane, and also walking and biking facilities and an intersection traffic control light and improvements at 32nd Street will spur development in the area of the undeveloped and the underdeveloped property there, and that we should be prepared with a neighborhood plan to lay out a neighborhood and a transportation system that will protect that investment and will create the kind of livable neighborhood, walkable neighborhood that we all strive to achieve. We have commercial design standards and zoning that address individual properties, but nothing that really talks about a plan for the area, and this would be a good opportunity to do that. Our liaison at the TGM program thinks it's a good proposal and is competitive. So, but we do need letters of support for the project, and because it is a planning project, essentially, I thought it would be appropriate for the Planning Commission to look it over and see if it's something that they would like to support. I've drafted a letter for you, and it is in front of you, and I believe Kate also sent it out ahead of time in an email. So if you're interested in providing a letter of support, I would like a motion to direct the chair to sign that letter, and we'll send it off.
Anybody like to make a motion to that effect?
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Yes.
So how did you, so evidently you sent a proposal to look at this area and give you some recommendations. Am I right in that assumption?
Well, what the proposal requests is a grant that would pay for consultants who would work with the community in developing a plan for that area, and would probably have meetings of focus groups of stakeholders, property owners of the area, to come up with a plan that everybody is satisfied with in terms of individual properties and the overall neighborhood.
So, and that entails the Nelscott strip there that's already been developed? Does it go that far?
Well, let's see. I think I sent a map, and I don't have one with me. It doesn't get too far to the west of the highway, because that is pretty much already developed, and they have done a lot of planning for that area. It includes area from southeast 23rd Drive, and which is, and that's just south of that is the Devil's Lake Rock property, and then it extends south from there to past 32nd, which is the location for the new traffic control light.
But not up to High School Drive.
It doesn't go quite that far. We avoided areas that down there that were already pretty well developed, but we did include a little bit on the west side of the highway too. There are some vacant sites and sites that are underdeveloped that could change, especially with the new intersection. So
it goes down to south of 35th to where the 11 Spoonful restaurant was. Includes that property. And
I don't think, that my application will preclude changing those boundaries a little bit in the planning process if the consultants and the participants here locally feel that something needs to be excluded or included.
We're roughly from 23rd southeast up to 35th southeast, southwest.
Yeah, pretty close.
I have one question.
Yes, Jim.
concerning this part, are they intending on aligning 32nd Street then? Is that going to happen?
Yes, that's part of the proposed improvements. Richard probably can tell you
Yeah,
more
we
about
just-
that. He just met about that the other day.
Yeah, there's a preliminary design that ODOT's working on, and the city recently worked on reviewing it and met actually yesterday with ODOT reps. And it does include realigning the intersection at 32nd, and it includes traffic light there.
Anybody else?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we sign this letter, you sign this letter that Deborah has drafted here in support of reviewer of transportation land use issue planning grant.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay,
Hey, thank you.
you're welcome, thank you.
I have a couple more things, Chair.
Oh, geez.
One of them is just to mention once again that the Lincoln City Transportation System Plan is moving ahead, and we have a meeting on Thursday for our Technical Advisory Committee, and also a meeting of our Project Advisory Committee. And the Project Advisory Committee is meeting at 5:30 to 7:30 here in the chambers, and that's on Thursday this week. Prior to that meeting, at 5 o'clock, one of the Project Advisory Committee members is going to lead a tour of intersections close to City Hall, and so that people can experience what it's like to navigate our transportation system for the blind. And he assures us that it's going to be safe. And it will be about a half an hour, and that will directly precede the meeting starting at 5:30. The meeting is primarily for the Project Advisory Committee members, but everyone is welcome to attend, and usually we try to make an opportunity for public comment for people who are not on the committee. Also, the Transportation System Plan is holding its first public event, and that is a week from this Thursday. It's on the 27th, and that is from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It is at the Cultural Center, and we're encouraging everyone to come out. This is your first opportunity on this transportation master plan or system plan to tell us to find out what traffic will be like in 2035 if we don't make improvements to the system based on our population and job projections. Tell us what kind of transportation system that you want for Lincoln City, suggest priorities for transportation investments, and we will have some light refreshments there, and our consultants will be there. We'll have representatives from ODOT there. So, and you know, we have worked on the transportation master plan or transportation system plan for over the past 10 years, I think, you know, on and off. And this time we have the support of ODOT, and we have some good consultants who are leading the project. If you have commented before, hopefully you won't be tired of giving us your input and can come back on Thursday, the 27th. Then I have just one last thing. This is just an update. The city has contracted with a forester to help us do a thinning project in one of our open spaces that is in Agnes Creek. It's south of Bard Road between Coast and the highway. The project will selectively thin out the overgrown trees, and we'll remove about a third of them. They've got a piece of equipment in there already. We sent letters out to the neighbors telling them, giving them a heads up so that when they hear the chainsaw and so forth, they'll know what's going on. There will be about 30 truckloads of trees leaving the site. And when they are finished, which they expect to be about July 1st, they will leave us a looped trail through through the space that they have thinned, and it will connect to the stairs over at Hunter's Highland and to Bard Road. So, and there will be some space for parking and a kiosk for information. So that's a pretty cool project. They are not. They're discouraging onlookers because, of course, it's kind of a dangerous construction site right now. The forester has arranged for a time for the press to come out and take pictures and talked with him about the project. So we should be seeing more information in the paper about that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Deborah, can you send us an email on those first two items, those scheduling times?
Oh, for the transportation system plan?
Right.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Okay. Looks like the city attorney is not here, so commissioners, does anybody have anything that they'd like to talk about at this time? Okay, next are public comments on non-agenda items not involving a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that would wish to speak this evening? Okay. Future agenda items in the next meeting. Doesn't look like there's anything on the schedule on the agenda for the July 2nd meeting, so I see a request to cancel that meeting.
Right, we have nothing scheduled, and given it's the 4th of July week, suggesting canceling the meeting,
Okay. Do we need a motion or just
or at least head nod.
go ahead? That's fine with me. Okay, I think that was easy. Okay, well, with that, there's nothing else on the agenda, so we're adjourned. Thank you very much.